During this time, we are unable to offer the Molly the Trolley Historic Homes of Crown Point tour. Instead, imagine yourself on Molly while we learn about several homes and buildings around the hub city in this weekly series. First United Methodist Church is the oldest church in Lake County. It was organized in 1838. Originally built on Lot 40 next to the sheriff's house and jail in 1843, the congregation moved to its current location in 1957. That property was once known as Yuki Mansion. Legend has it that Mrs. Yuki was not too happy that her house was torn down, and she sometimes haunts the parlor room built in the church with the Yuki Mansion fireplace. This free classic style house was built in 1884 by Martha Dyer Hart, Aaron Hart's widow, after his death. It was designed by the same man who designed the courthouse clock tower. Aaron Hart was a large landowner in Lake County. He named Dyer after his wife, and Hart Ditch in Highland is named after him, since he drained a series of ditches throughout the county. This house is part of the Holly Historic Residential District. It was built with balloon construction, which means that the framing extends from the basement through the roof with no break. The carriage house was built in 1885 and had a small fire in 2010 and burnt down in 2015. It was rebuilt in 2017. This house is also known as the Mayor's Mansion, since former Mayor Richard Collins lived in this house and was married into the Hart family and owners of the house. Also, one of the Hart daughters married Vernon Perry, who built the Carnegie Center. Known in the family as the Big House, the Collins later sold this house and moved to Rose Ellen Drive. This Queen Anne-style home was built in 1895 by David Root, founder of the Root Lumber Company, in 1892. It was a very social house that held events such as the Fortnightly Musicale Society. There was a secret passage bookshelf that led from the first to the third floor, as well as other features prominent in Victorian design and Queen Anne-style homes. Those included turrets, curved windows, and a wraparound porch, and extensive decorated molding both in and out of the house. In 1938, it was split into 3 apartments. The house is currently being renovated to restore the wraparound porch, the entry stairwell, and entry doorway to its original exterior, as well as to restore the interior into a single home. Root Lumber Company provided the wood for the Cobb Cup Grandstand, the Lake County Fairgrounds Grandstand, and both courthouse additions. The Crawford-Winslow House was placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 2013. The Queen Anne-style home, featuring a corner turret and diamond mullioned windows, was built in 1890 for $6,000 by J. and Edith Crawford. J. Crawford was a hay merchant who built a store on the square in 1920. After J's death in 1925, this 4,500 square foot house was sold to Alfred Winslow, who served as the United States ambassador to Guatemala. Winslow was also the founder of the newspaper that eventually became The Times in 1881. He lived in Crown Point from 1925, when he bought the Crawford home, until his death in 1929. Go visit these places at the corner of South Streets and Main Streets in Crown Point, just south of the square. Thank you for coming on this virtual tour.